Howdy guys, Bookie Laura here. Now I've read 3 more books, so I'm bringing you 3 more mini reviews. I feel it's worth mentioning at this point that I'm not 100% taken with the minute review thing. I love it. I love that I'm reviewing every book that I'm reading this year, but I feel that the system, for whatever reason, doesn't really work for me. I think partly because I feel that each book deserves its own video and I'm finding the minute a bit restrictive. So I'm considering some changes, but at the moment I'm sticking with me 1 minute reviews for now, but expect to see some changes very soon. The first book which I've read recently is called A Witch Alone by James Nichol. This is the second book in the, I don't know, it follows The Apprentice Witch. I don't know what the series is called, but basically the book follows the life of Arianwen, who was in the first book was an apprentice witch and quite not very good at it, and in the second book she's now going on to being, like, I don't know, a newly qualified witch. So she's now branching out. She's proven herself and now she's branching out and being a true witch. So the book follows her sort of further adventures, basically. I really enjoyed it. I gave it, I think, 4 stars? I think 4 stars, although it may have been 3. No, I gave it 4 stars and I really enjoyed it. I think it really reminded me of The Apprentice Witch. It was really quick to sort of get back into that setup and that enjoyable world and magical and wonderful. Some of the sort of content I think felt a bit predictable for me at times. A lot of the sort of things that happened I could see coming, but it didn't bother me. I just kind of felt like, yeah, I saw that was going to happen, but it's cool, whatever, you know. After that, I read Nevermoor by Jessica Townsend, which is basically follows the story of a girl called Morrigan Crow who is cursed and knows that she will die, I think, on her 11th birthday, but she doesn't. She's saved and she's transported away to a magical world, which she never knew existed, I think, from what I remember. And she basically has to go through these trials to become part of the Wondrous Society. And it's all about the trials, I suppose, which is obvious from the title, really. But then I don't tend to read too much into titles. I cannot put into words how much I love this book. I gave it 5 stars, and I don't give 5 stars easily. But one thing that I really noticed when I was reading it was how absorbed I was in the story. I'm quite a completionist. I like to finish books, so when I get towards the end, I'm all the time thinking, oh, how's this going to end? Let's hurry up and read it. Whereas I really didn't feel that. I felt like I just wanted to be in the world. It almost didn't happen it almost didn't matter what was happening, what the content was, what the plot was. I just wanted to keep learning about it and keep loving it more. You'll notice I'm making an effort not to be angry at my alarm. I think that says a lot about the fact that I'm on holiday. Less stressed. And then finally, the third book that I read and actually listened to as an audiobook was Fear the Sky by Stephen Moss. It comes up on my Audible that actually I purchased it over a year ago, so possibly over 2 years ago. It's a book that I just got on a whim when I was struggling to sleep. I thought, I'll get an audiobook and I'll just listen to it. So I never really imagined getting absorbed in the story. It was just something that I did. But anyway, long story short, aliens are coming to attack the world, planet Earth. They're going to sneak their way in and then kill us all. I mean, that's what it is. But they get discovered, and it's the sort of story of the people who are trying to outdo them, but they have to do it really sort of cleverly so the aliens don't realise. And I really liked that. I thought it was a smart book. It was intelligent. There was a lot of military stuff, which I wasn't that into, but it was fine. But the main hang-up for me was that this book was really long. I think it was like 18 hours on an audiobook, and I struggle with audiobooks at the best of times, and I think the fact that it was so long really put me off. But what I did was over last weekend, Easter weekend, I was painting, so I listened to it while I was painting, so like 8 hours, and that really worked for me. I found that I can paint and listen to a book at the same time. And there are not many things I can do at the same time as listening to a book. So anyway, those are my most recent 3 reads. I wish I had them all. I mean, A Witch Alone I took into school, forgetting that I'd need to do this, but it was in my middle grade March wrap-up thing, so it has had a waving around. And then Nevermoor, I absolutely love this book. If you've read this book and want to just get together down below in the comments and just rave about how wonderful it is, that I'd be cool with that. Yeah, as I said earlier, I'm thinking of changing these up, making them slightly longer to give me just enough time to feel that I'm doing the books justice and not just being too brief with them. So I'm thinking of making them longer, and I'm thinking of making them sort of 3 individual videos, so every book gets its own video rather than sharing them. I don't know whether that will annoy people because I'll spam you with loads at the same time, or whether it'll be cool because I feel like it'll make my reviews easier to find. So if people want to hear about Nevermoor, it'll be easier to find a video than if there's 3 in one. But anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.